Dwarven Tavern. I am your host, Lyric.
And I'm Josh.
And we are bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Fireside Games' Dastardly Dirigibles. It is 1 hour long, give or take, 2 to 5 players, and it is 8 and up. This is a steampunk airship building game, and what it has is it starts off with these, which are the airship blueprints.
Here's your plate, here's your game mats.
Then it has cards, which are the airship parts. And what you do is you put the airship parts on the blueprint. Surprise, surprise.
So how do you play the game? So each player will get a blueprint playing mat. And this is where you will play your cards, build your airship, and also gives you a very quick breakdown of what you can do for each turn. Each player gets this sheet, and then one player will shuffle all the cards together and deal each player a hand of 5 face down. Place the remaining cards face down where all players can reach them. That's a draw pile and a discard pile. So the next thing we're going to do is build the Emporium. That is the cards that we will be able to use aside from our hand while we're playing the game. So each player will draw a card from the top of the pile and place it face up in front of us. So Lyric pulled the lift engine. So I have the drive engine, which means Lyric is going to be going first.
So with every turn, we get 3 actions that we can play. First, you draw your hand up to 5, and then you perform 3 actions, of which you can play an airship or a special card, discard 1 card, swap 1 card from your hand with 1 card from the Emporium, replace the Emporium, or pass. Your goal is to get as many cards of the entire airship to match the suit. There are a total of 8 suits, but the wild itself is it's just 1 point, which is unfortunate because I usually go for those. So for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and place a nose cone. And as I place cards on my airship, he also has to place the respective card on his. If he doesn't have that card, then he doesn't have to play it. If he does have that card and already has one on the map in that spot, he has to replace it. Okay, then the next part I'm going to place a lift engine and
I don't have one of them.
A tail. Alright, and that ends my turn.
So I'm going to draw up to 5. I'm going to play a drive engine for my first action.
I don't have a drive engine, so I don't have to play.
And then I am going to use the special card, Ether Extractor. What this does is I now draw 3 cards from the draw pile. If I play one of those cards, I get to keep the other 2 cards at no action cost. So essentially it's a free action. So I'm going to draw 3. So I have to play the cards directly to my airship. If I do not play, I must discard all 3 of the cards. Unfortunately, I cannot use any of these for my airship, so I'm now going to get rid of all 3 of them. And that took one of my actions. But let's see what else I got here. Mechanician.
Mechanician?
Mechanician. Perform 1 additional action. Basically just get that one back. And I am going to swap my tail card for the drive engine on the river, which is not what you call it in this. It's called the Emporium.
Emporium.
And I'm going to play my drive engine. No, I'm not, because I've already played one of those. So I'm just going to pass and get done with this terrible round.
So at the end of each round, you calculate your score. With each suit that has more than 1 card, that is the suit that you go with on what's calculating your total score. Considering neither one of us has an overarching score,
We get 1 point for each card.
We get 1 point. So each of us have 3 cards total, which means we end round 1 with 3 points.
Starting in the new round, every player will discard their cards.
Which is fantastic. I don't want these.
And everybody draws back up to 5. Now, the player who scored the lowest will go first in the new round.
And if it's a tie, probably just
goes back to where it was. The player that scored the lowest will go first, and they will also get 1 additional action for that. So instead of 3, they get to do 4.
I'm going to play the lift engine. Do you have a lift engine?
I do. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to play. Well, that kind of screwed up what my plan was.
You're welcome. Wahaha. Then I'm going to play the gondola front,
which I have to play as well.
I'm going to replace the Emporium because these cards are bad. So There's that, and there's that. Why is it always a wild? And that ends my turn.
Okay, so I'm going to draw up to 5, so I need to draw 2. Okay, let's see. I need a lift engine and a gondola rear. So I am going to play a gondola rear. And I am going to play a lift engine, which is going to complete this abomination of an airship for me.
Okay, so that means I have to replace it?
Correct.
Which is fine. I'm not passive aggressive about it at all.
And I'm just going to pass for my last action. There's nothing else I should do.
Okay.
I need to do at least.
So that means that we calculate the score once again. I have 3 of the same suit, which means I get 6 points this round, for a total of 9 going so far. And you...
Since I completed the airship first, I get an extra 2 points. And let's see, what do I have? I have 2 points for the wild cards, and I have 4 points for my sweet suit. So that's 6 points in total. 6, 7, 8 plus for building the airship first.
So that means that you have a total of 12.
Correct.
So just for the sake of the recording and just because the rules does not say, we're unsure of if the completed airship causes the end of the game or if we keep playing, so we're just going to keep playing. We have one more round and I scored less than he did, so I'm going to go ahead and go first, which means I draw up to 5.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to play Saboteur, which means I choose a player. That player must discard 1 card of my choice from their airship. And I'm going to say get rid of the nose cone. Bum 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 bum.
Okay.
I'm going to play the drive engine.
So I have to replace my drive engine with that one, so there we go.
I guess I can just play this, and that ends my turn.
I don't have that, so I'm going to draw up to 5, so I'll draw 1. And then really what I need right now is a nose cone. So what I'm going to do is swap this lift engine with the nose cone inside of the Emporium, and I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to pass for my last one.
So that ends the game. We calculate our scores accordingly.
For this, I actually have a special card called the Gilded Dynamotor. If this card is in your hand when the round ends, add 1 extra point. So I get an extra point because of that card.
I got 6 points like I did last round because I still have the same cards that I did.
So I got 7 points. So 8 points. Because I lost my suit, so now each card is just worth 1. So I got 7 points that round.
Okay, you still got more points than I did.
Yeah.
So that would mean that Josh wins with 20 points this round. And he is the Dastardly Dirigible driver. So, that's Dastardly Dirigibles by Fireside Games. I find it to be very fast-paced. It says that it can take up to an hour. I can see that being, it has up to 5 players, so I can definitely see that taking a long time despite there only being 3 rounds. There's a lot of, I feel like, chaos going on at all times. Like, you're always switching out cards and you're always, with the special cards, you're sabotaging your fellow gamers. So there's a lot of moving parts to this, and I feel like that's very appropriate for the style of game that it is. I am confused about some of the rules.
They need to do a better job of coming back and kind of fixing the scoring in each round. You should, in my opinion, you shouldn't score at each round, you should score at the end of the game. Scoring at each round, it just adds an extra thing, and it also doesn't really say in here, what happens if you have a completed airship? Do you just keep playing, or do you just pass, or what do you do? It's not extremely clear, though it is pretty clear up to that point.
Right.
But, you need to actually be clear on your end of your game.
Right. With just a tiny bit of muddling, it becomes just a tad bit of an issue. That being said, I think this is a very fun game, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 axes. I think this would be a fun game to play with a lot more people, and a lot of young people. I think this could keep their interest. It's short enough to be not overcomplicated, but it's complicated enough to keep interest. So aside from the confusion with the rules, and we had to, go back and do it a couple more times just to make sure that we had a clear layout of what the rules were, I think it's a fun game.
Yeah, I think 4 is fair enough. It's a fun game. It's pretty fast paced. The just slightly muddling of the instructions leaves kind of a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 out of 5 axes is fair enough for me. That's what I'll give it. If you read the booklet here, it gives you a very slight kind of background and lore of the game. So let me hold this up really close to my face so I can do this. Professor Phineas Edmund Hornswoggle, known for building the highest quality airships, has announced his retirement. As one of the greatest airship engineers in the kingdom, you have gathered at the Hornswoggle factory in a competition to build the best airship you can build and become the successor to the Hornswoggle Empire. You'll have to keep your wits, since the professor has jumbled the plots you'll need to complete your craft. It will take skill, luck, and more than a little treachery. To win, by hook or by crook, you'll be the master of these dastardly dirigibles.
Look at that title card.
It's a decent game. Check it out. Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, so that is a 4 out of 5 for Dastardly Dirigibles from the Dwarven Tavern. You can go to firesidegames.com to get a copy for yourself and, judge it accordingly. We recommend it. So, on that note, I am Lyric.
And I'm Josh.
And we wish for you to want for nothing but adventure. And at first I feared it, then I charged. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.